There's the SEC pulling back on essentially every lawsuit. There's progress on stablecoin legislation. There's talk of market structure legislation. There was the White House Crypto Summit. These are game-changing positive developments that should put Bitcoin trading at $150,000 or $200,000 today. It's been suppressed because in the short term, this overhang of the economic uncertainty is weighing on the markets. I think if that is released, we're at new all-time highs quickly, and we're on our way to where I think we'll be at the end of the year, which is Bitcoin 200,000. So I think there's been this sort of suppression.
Alrighty, everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to another CYPRX video banger. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up your seatbelts. This video breakdown is going to be one you are not going to want to miss. It might get a little bit lengthy. We are going to be discussing and talking about how now is not the time for you all to be bearish in the crypto ecosystem. Now, however, is the time for you to pay attention to detail, to really monitor and really figure out who is actually putting out good, valuable information in this digital asset ecosystem and who is just a part of the massive distraction that is ongoing right now in the digital asset ecosystem, which we'll get into in today's video breakdown as well. Then we're going to dive into some fundamental developments surrounding XRP, Ripple, Chainlink, XLR. I'm going to show you guys how they are key players in this ever-evolving ecosystem. And we're also going to be listening to some key insights from some institutional players in this space. Again, today is one of those video breakdowns that you're not going to want to miss. You're going to want to soak up everything that I have to show you in today's research video breakdown. So welcome back. We do appreciate the love and support. If you guys enjoy these deep dives, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. Again, it does help boost the algorithm. It'll push this video breakdown out to more like-minded individuals like yourselves. With that being said, let's get started. So the total cryptocurrency market as of time of recording this video breakdown on the day is down around $77 to $80 billion. Yet you have mainstream influencers hosting lives, telling you guys that because of the whole White House Crypto Summit and everything that's been happening via the bullish fundamental developments in the digital asset ecosystem, that crypto is going to soar to new all-time highs tomorrow. That is the farthest thing from the truth. You need to understand in detail right now what is happening on a global scale via the macroeconomics as to why digital assets are suppressed right now and why we're seeing more safe haven demand for assets like gold. Okay, this is going to play a very important role in your longevity in this space. If you do not understand the space in which you are investing in, you're taking an immature, uneducated approach, and you're going to continue to get your brain juices manipulated by these uninformed retail investors. So I'm just going to show you guys that here at CYPRX, we've been attempting to put this information out to you all, and this aligns with perspectives from institutional players in this market that are saying the same exact things. To show you guys that what we talk about here at CYPRX is not opinion-based. We put out sound research, and moving forward, this is the type of info you want to be paying attention to in this space. Now, we're not the only, influencer in this space that puts this information out. There's other good like-minded platforms out there, but the vast majority, I'd say probably about 90 to 95% of influencers out there in crypto are all just opinion-based, putting out random price predictions, drawing unrealistic Fibonacci price projections on their charts and pumping that information out to you guys to spike your dopamine, get clicks and views. Now's the time to be ignoring those individuals. Okay, I'm done my rant. Remember, we're going to get into some Ripple developments, some XRP developments. I'm going to show you guys how financial institutions are extremely bullish on this space. This video breakdown might take a little bit of time. We're going to try and get through all the info as fast as possible, but we have some really juicy info to show you guys. So I said here to you guys, retail misinformation amongst crypto influencers in this space is at an all-time high. It is time to filter your feed. The level of ignorance amongst retail influencers has never been higher. Now more than ever, it is crucial to use the block feature on your X profile wisely, or YouTube, or whatever social media you are utilizing. If you see posts like this, oh, this is market manipulation, this is the last crash, why the F are the markets crashing right now, right? Confusion amongst retail traders, or crypto is a scam, it is a clear sign that the individual posting anything like this is unwilling to truly understand the markets that they claim to operate in. What you watch and what you consume shapes your perspective, so be mindful. Now is the time to filter out the noise and make room for quality market insights and real education. I encourage you guys, and here at CYPRX, we encourage you all to mature in your market awareness and start to really consider whom you give your attention to. If we fast forward over here, this was another post of a perfect example on March 3rd. I said to you guys, always warning you guys in advance ahead of the time, education is a must. The market was down when I posted this over $250 billion as uncertainties in the market still remain. Long-term, crypto is bullish. Keep that in mind. We have a very bullish long-term perspective, which we'll get into in today's video breakdown. But short-term risks linger that create more demand for gold and safe haven assets, which again, we'll get into, and I'll show you that continued to increase from the time that we posted this video breakdown. We don't post any hopium or hype. We are bullish long-term in the digital asset landscape, but we understand the short-term narrative, right? And you can see exactly what I'm talking about. You have individuals on the internet posting, why the F is XRP and the entire market crashing so hard? Look at the views here, 73,000 impressions. Okay. This is disgusting that this type of information gets so much views. It's horrible. Okay. And we have an individual in our private community saying comments like this makes me happy that I joined CYPRX. Without the research and market updates, I'd probably be a blind investor also. So shout out to Polly888 in the CYPRX group chat. Okay. And here, we just were warning people that there's still market uncertainties and the market crashed, $260 billion that day. Moving forward. All right. Here is another post ahead of the retail crowd warning you guys on our X profile. I said to you all here, let's look at the date. Timestamps are always important to us. Down at the bottom, March 13th. I always just like to show you guys that we post this information before it actually plays an important role in the market. So you guys are up to date in a timely manner. I said here, keep in mind the long-term bullish fundamentals for crypto continue to stack, which we'll get into again, an institutional perspective here in just 1 second. We have seen more positive fundamentals for crypto in the last 6 months than we have in the last 5 years. Therefore, it is our belief that when this temporary uncertainty subsides, the uptrend will remain intact. But for now, you need to remain cautious as more downside risks remain on the table if current conditions worsen. Long-term crypto has never been this bullish. Short-term, let's start here. We're talking about, again, this is back on the 13th. Today's market decline of over US $90 billion as of time of writing exemplifies why it is essential to rely on institutional insights, institutional delta zones, order flow, and overall market fundamentals rather than solely on the opinions of retail traders. We cautioned about the potential for continued selling pressure if trade war tensions, recession fears, and geopolitical strains either escalated or failed to dissipate, which in turn would bolster safe haven demand. We talked about misleading retail signals, telling you guys that the XRP ETF announcements would make XRPs turn around and go into some new all-time high. Meanwhile, we were talking about gold extending its rally on Thursday. This is again back March 13th, surging beyond the USD $2,980 mark per troy ounce as intensifying trade conflicts mounted with global growth worries and continued to fuel safe haven demand. Okay, this is again from March 13th. We were warning you guys about this stuff. March 3rd. And we've been one of the only communities on the internet warning you all about this stuff. If we come over to an updated retail piece today, check this out. Gold rallies to a new record high of $3,030. Gold benefits from escalating geopolitical tensions and extends its rally to new record highs. On Tuesday, Israel resumed military operations against Hamas in Gaza after a group rejected U.S. proposals for extending a ceasefire. All eyes now remain on the Trump and Putin call, okay? So we're here in an attempt to show you guys that, yes, we 110% agree. The long-term bullish perspective for crypto remains intact, but you need to understand the short-term fundamentals and not be looking at these retail opinionated posts that manipulates you guys to thinking that this is going to happen overnight, that XRP is going to hit brand new all-time highs tomorrow because of some announcement that XRP ETFs are being filed or that Brad Garlinghouse is attending the Crypto White House Summit. Like, that is so, and I don't even want to, again, talk crap because, everybody has their opinions and their content. I get that, but now is not the time for that stuff. Now is the time for real research. Now is the time to really put in the work and the effort to understand these markets so you can last longer in this space and not get manipulated. Understand when to be buying into this digital asset ecosystem, when to be selling, when to be taking profit, when to be reallocating those profits and at a discount, how to even do all of those things. And these are all things that we talk about in the CYPRX private community. Now, I'm not trying to get you guys to go and tap into our private community. It's there if you want it. If you want want real institutional insights, institutional deltas, fundamental developments hand typed out on a daily basis, you guys want accurate non-mainstream crypto research, then our Discord is there for you guys. Tap in, right? We'd love to have you. And if not, then at least at a minimum, start to pay attention to who you're following on the internet, because right now we're in such a toxic environment in crypto where I'd say, again, 95% of retail investors on this space that make content have no freaking idea what they're talking about. Okay. So moving on, let's listen to back what it is that I'm saying to you guys, so you all don't think I'm just making this stuff up. Okay. I love to give you guys institutional insight. So first, we're going to be listening to an individual from Hilbert Group. Hilbert Group, just so you guys know, is an investment company which specializes in quantitative algorithmic trading strategies in the digital asset markets. Take a second and listen to what this lady says, because we've been very confident in saying that right now this market pullback is not tech related. It is not because crypto's failing. It is not because the infrastructure is failing. It is primarily due to the macro uncertainty creating more demand for safe haven assets. Take a second and listen.
Eventually lead to further interest down the risk curve. And away from that, I think DeFi very quietly is humming along like really, really well, especially given, I mean, I don't know if everybody saw that, but crypto had the worst liquidation in the last 24 hours, more than COVID, more than sort of like any historically. And none of these chains broke. None of the lending protocols broke or were unable to process transactions. These things are largely not reported in the media, but these are the silent spaces where I do see.
Right. So I just wanted to give you guys an institutional insight, right? That is not coming from me. That's coming from a large player in the space telling you all there's nothing really wrong with the tech. And actually, crypto, the whole entire DeFi ecosystem, just survived one of the largest hacks in history. All right. That is monumental. That is extremely bullish. That shows maturation in this ecosystem on a level that we've never seen before. All right. Now we're going to listen to this gentleman here, Bitwise Asset Management Chief Investment Officer, Matt Hugan. This is the same gentleman that was sitting on stage next to the Invesco representative, where they literally said ETH is pulled back due to Trump uncertainties and tariff implications, and we wish we could buy the dip.
Matt and I were talking earlier about how, ETH was down almost 30% over the weekend thanks to Mr. Trump's tariffs, and we were just saying to each other, God, I wish I could hit the buy button. But like we're companies where you have to get things pre-cleared and so on and so forth.
Right? Well, listen to what he says here to further back our claim that right now there's nothing wrong with crypto itself. It's more so the macro environment that is weighing on risk assets and fueling demand for safe haven.
On Wednesday, everyone's going to be watching, like you said, for cues on the central bank's readiness to deploy stimulus. If it seems like stimulus is coming to save us from a recession, what do crypto markets look like? I know in the past, crypto markets have reacted nicely to stimulus and cheaper money. What are you expecting to happen?
Yeah, more than nicely is what I'm expecting to happen. The thing that's happened in crypto over the last, let's say, 6 weeks is there has been so much fundamentally positive news, and it's just been buried sort of in the background. We've caused ourselves to ignore it. There's the strategic Bitcoin reserve, the SEC pulling back on essentially every lawsuit. There's progress on stablecoin legislation. There's talk of market structure legislation. There was the White House crypto summit. These are game-changing positive developments that should put Bitcoin trading at $150,000 or $200,000 today. It's been suppressed because in the short term, this overhang of the economic uncertainty is weighing on the markets. I think if that is released, we're at new all-time highs quickly, and we're on our way to where I think we'll be at the end of the year, which is Bitcoin 200,000. So I think there's been this sort of suppression.
So I'll pause it right there. Again, this video was posted only 19 hours ago, which again shows you all that we are beating CoinDesk in relaying this information to you all, because we posted this again to you all on March 13th, days ago, where we said the same exact thing, literally word for word, that the Bitwise Chief Investment Officer said on that CoinDesk panel discussion. Long-term bullish fundamentals for crypto have never been this massive, right? Ever in the history of crypto. But for now, the short-term suppression of this ecosystem is primarily driven by fundamental factors like the uncertainty surrounding tariffs, recession fears, central bank positioning, and geopolitical tensions and escalations. And you need to understand those things or you're going to get shaken out. You're not going to understand what is happening in the ecosystem, right? Why you can see all these bullish fundamentals, but then turn around and look at your price action in your portfolio and see red. Makes no sense. It's manipulating people, okay, left and right, which is why it's so imperative that you all pay attention. Now, last video breakdown that I'm going to share from this gentleman here, listen to what he says about how the long-term good news will not remain suppressed. We should be buying the dip, so on and so forth, right? Again, he pretty much reiterates the same thing that he said on a previous panel discussion. Just take a second here and listen.
In the long term, this good news is not going to remain suppressed. In the long term, the good news will make its way into the market and we will eventually get to where we're going. But yeah, if government officials hold the line that they're okay with economic volatility, that they're okay with a short-term significant pullback in the economy, that they're not going to come to the rescue with at least more relaxed monetary or fiscal policies, then I think, volatility, we're going to chop sideways. We're all going to be frustrated. And that's the game that we're playing. But again, for long-term investors, I'm not sure it matters. Bitcoin is going to get there eventually. Crypto assets more broadly are going to get there eventually. But whether it's like a very exciting spring or a very frustrating spring could depend on what's said, later this week.
Right. So we said long-term investors don't really have anything to worry about. We may chop sideways if conditions worsen. However, long-term uptrend remains intact. This just goes on to solidify that what we put out here at CYPRX, it's not opinion-based, right? It's all based off of research, sound fundamental backings, and just our overall perspective on what's happening via the macro environment, looking at these fundamentals in detail and seeing what financial institutions are doing and where their capital sits. Their capital right now sits primarily in safe haven plays, okay? So now let's talk about these bullish fundamental developments. Now let's get to the juicy part of today's video breakdown. I'm sorry that whole entire half of today's video breakdown took so long, but you need to understand that. If you've stuck around thus far, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. This is the realest, some of the realest. I'm not going to say the realest, right? Because I'm sure that other people make valuable content. Some of definitely the realest content on the face of the internet right now. Nobody's talking about this stuff straight to your face and telling you how it really is. Everybody on the internet makes content telling you what you want to hear and not what you need to hear. Here at CYPRX, we focus on what you need to hear, okay? And we will sacrifice views, clicks, and likes to tell you all what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Okay, so check this out. This is from Blockchain Headhunter. They posted this 10 hours ago.